Alright, so week 2, some of the work that was done, I'm actually going to have a few pictures up. First to kind of show here, try to get some of this glare out, some of the hoses that were replaced. So some of the things you want to look at. This is the hoses that were there, and if you actually can kind of see through all of this area in here, you had like splicing on the hoses. I'm not trying to, bash the person who built it or was maintaining it previously, but when you start seeing that stuff, or you go up to the hose and it's brittle, that's when it needs to be changed, especially anything that's going to be holding a fluid. Wrong way, that's a receipt. And this is the other side. So if you look at it here, you can see all of this kind of splicing. When we opened up some of these, it was actually a piece of metal in between the two. Being an experimental, you can use car parts. I get it's cheaper, but it's not always the best option. So use it when it's a great option, but I do encourage those to kind of heat against it in some circumstances. For example, our fuel pressure sensor was going on a car part for a fuel sensor, and it was actually, the connection was not good, and very easily that could just vibrate right out because you had this fairly heavy piece of equipment being held in between two hoses, and eventually it's going to wiggle itself loose, and there goes your fuel source. So and in a pits, if you've flown one before, you'll know her glide ratio is not the grandest out there. So how does she look now? There's only one side, but as you look through here, and I'm on the road if you can't tell. I wish I could just show you the airplane right now, but there'll be a later video. Actually, all the same hoses that are on there. It's new hoses, but it's for the same stuff. Nice tucked in, great, clean, but not only is it clean, it's proper, and you're not going to run into oil issues and fuel issues because of that. Have started her up. She starts up pretty good. The issue though is it looks like possibly the right mag. So there's two magnetos on the aircraft that produce electricity, spark, for both of the spark plugs going into each cylinder. If there's a kickback when you're trying to start it and the prop goes in the opposite direction, oftentimes that it could be a timing thing, or it could be one of the mags, so the right mag is still connected, or it should just be one mag at the start. So troubleshooting that now, or Danny's troubleshooting that. Also troubleshooting the radio. Works great when the engine's not running. The second you turn the engine on, I can hear a little key when I click the push to talk, and that's kind of it. Changed all the settings. I'm starting to get static, at least in receive, but it's still nothing. So normally what that's caused from when I'm talking to different people is there could be a ground somewhere. So they say, hey, like bang on and press on different spots around all your electronics. Did a lot of that already, and no luck so far. So may have been wired improperly, so that's now all being checked. Then calling the company with the radio. It's a brand new radio, so it's not that. And it works with the antenna, so I'm not anticipating it's that. Other things that we kind of did, which is was fun, is aileron tape. This is kind of an aerobatic thing. If you have a flat bottom wing, kind of show you here. So you got the aileron here on the top wing. This tape goes along here, and it covers the gap. So the flat bottom wings, you have a gap on your aileron, airflow goes through here, and it actually lowers your roll rate due to removing some of that airflow, hitting all of your aileron, and some of it's kind of skipping over the top. So this creates a barrier. And when you do it, you don't want to just throw tape across. And this is a Gorilla Glue clear tape, and it's a 1.88 inch. I was told 3 inches originally, and they don't make 3-inch and clear. So to save you a few hours of running around to every home store out there, 1.88 inches. And not the packaging tape, like the tough stuff. Thick and tough, I think is what it's called. I don't know. But to save it from like dirt sticking on it, what you do, this kind of shows a table here, and you got a piece of aluminum to keep it clean. Another piece is you'll lay out sticky side down. We did use aluminum and clean the aluminum off. You lay it sticky side down the whole length, at least a little over the length of the aileron, and then you'll cut exactly in the middle. Just use a razor blade, cut all the way down the middle of that. Then what you do is sticky side up, you're going to put down a whole nother sheet here of the tape, the Gorilla tape. Pick up your half slice, and put that half slice right in the middle. And what you're doing with that is you'll have sticky on both ends, which are going to stick to your aileron and stick to the top of your wing. And then that part that now has two stickies sticking to each other, and so it's not sticky when you touch it, right? That makes sense. I'm using the word sticky a lot here. That is going to go in the gap, so as air and dirt go through that, it's not sticking. And it's just a look thing, you know, so you have dirt all up in there. And then you want to put it along flush on the aileron itself. It has to be redone. I was told about every once a year or so. I guess it depends on how much you use the airplane. Doesn't look all that great because you got little clear bubbles. My fingerprints are in some of it. But it increases your roll rate like you wouldn't believe. So I encourage those that have any gap at all, which you generally see with the flat bottom wing. That's why I've been saying the flat bottom wing. Then try some tape. I recommend it. Alright, well, that's kind of my little bit of updates for now, and you probably already heard my other update on all the paperwork side of things, which is not as fun as fixing a plane. So thank you all for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll talk to you next time.